activity.
or tendency for childhood play.
Tendency for childhood play.
Bala,
Bala,
a boy.
boy.
Jadava,
Jadava,
as if done
as if done.
without activities.
Not activity.
Tat manastaya,
Tat manastaya,
by being fully absorbed in Krishna.
fully absorbed in Krishna.
Krishna Graha,
Krishna Griha,
by Krishna,
by Krishna,
who is like a strong influence,
was like a strong influence.
like a Graha or planetary influence.
Like a Griha or planetary influence.
Giritatma,
Girhitatma,
whose mind was fully attracted.
my mind was fully attracted.
Na,
No,
not.
not.
Veda,
Veda,
understood.
understood.
Jagat,
Jagat,
the entire material world.
entire material world.
Drisham,
Idrisham,
like this.
like this.
Translation. From the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and dull. Being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, since his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on being fully absorbed in the activities of sense gratification. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj is the vivid example of a great person fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. In Chetan Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8.274 it is said, स्थावर जंगम देखे न देखे तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र हय निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. A fully Krishna conscious person, although situated in this material world, does not see anything but Krishna, anywhere and everywhere. This is a sign of Mahabhagavat. The Mahabhagavat sees Krishna everywhere because of his attitude of pure love for Krishna. As confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.38. Prema Janachurita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shravan Sundara Chinta Gunasvarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the primal Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shyam Sundar, situated within the heart of the devotee. An exalted devotee or Mahatma, who is rarely to be seen, remains fully conscious of Krishna and constantly seeks the Lord within the core of his heart. It is sometimes said that when one is influenced by the evil stars like Satan, Rahu, or Ketu, he cannot make advancement in any prospective activity. In just the opposite way, Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by Krishna, the supreme idea, and thus he could not think of material God and live without Krishna consciousness. This is a sign of a Mahabhagavad. Even if one is an enemy of Krishna, a Mahabhagavad sees him to be also engaged in Krishna's service. Another crude example is that everything appears yellow to the jaundiced eye. Similarly to a Mahabhagavad, everyone but himself appears to be engaged in Krishna's service. Prahlad Maharaj approved Mahabhagavat, the supreme devotee. In the previous verse, it was stated that he had natural attachment, Nesargiki Rati. The symptoms of such natural attachment for Krishna are described in this verse. Although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, he had no interest in playing. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Viraktir Anyatara Cha. The symptom of perfect Krishna consciousness is that one loses interest in all material activities. For a small boy, to give up playing is impossible. But Prahlad Maharaj, being situated in first class devotional service, was always absorbed in a trance of Krishna consciousness. Just as a materialistic person is always absorbed in thought of material gain, a Mahabhagavat like Prahlad Maharaj is always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Om Gyanantamrandasya Gyananjalaşalakaya Çakşuruन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वां पदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्पदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवां च. श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं प्रजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावतन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरवशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। I'm seeking the blessing from all the devotees, especially Skies Mukta, the Guru Skies Amali Panduru and others, so that they can bless me and I speak some glories of Prahlad Maharaj and Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So please repeat in this translation after me. From the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish
Interested in
playthings.
childish
Indeed, he gave them up altogether.
Indeed, he gave them all
And
together.
remained silent and dull.
And remained silent and dull.
Being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness,
Being fully absorbed in
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna consciousness.
his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness.
Since his mind was
He
always
could
affected by Krishna consciousness.
not understand how the world goes on.
He could not understand how the world The
Goes
word
on.
goes on.
Fully absorbed in the activities of sense gratification.
Being fully
Fully
absorbed in the activities of sense gratification.
So nice description of Prahlad Maharaj from many verses is coming on. After the Hiranyakashipu terrorizing the universe, then Prahlad Maharaj, beautiful descriptions. All the Vaishnavas qualities, so many wonderful qualities are mentioned here. So today verse, especially many qualities are explained of Prahlad Maharaj. In purport, Prahlad mentioning that this is a sign of Mahabhagavat devotee. Mahabhagavat is like the devotee who sees that one of the good quality of Mahabhagavat devotee is that see that everyone is a devotee of Krishna except him. Is that everyone, and even the purport Prabhupada mentioned that even the enemy of Krishna, he sees the pure devotee of Krishna because he is engaged with service of Krishna. But himself is he never considered I'm a pure devotee of Krishna. So this is sign of Mahabhagavat devotee. And the Prahlad Maharaj devotee quality is mentioned here that from a childhood only, he was not engaged in any activities which completely waste the time. Like when Prahlad Maharaj was giving very nice verses instructions to his boy friends. So this verse also come like that. How the one should not waste a time. So then he calculated also how the human beings has very limited years and how they are investing their time not engaging in the service of Krishna. So in that first 10 years, he told that when the child, the small boy, the child, he just waste his time by doing playthings. And the next 10 years go for studying. Similarly, next last 20 years goes for the old age, and half of the lifespan is goes in sleeping, and remaining some years which is goes for maintaining the family and taking so much anxiety. So where is the question Prahlad Maharaj says to his boyfriend? Where is the question of that person performing devotional service? So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that beginning years, he just wastes this for childish play. And we know that how Prabhupada is also mentioning the purport that it is very difficult for the child to say that not to play anything. That is not possible only. But Prahlad Maharaj was completely, because he got instruction, he got lessons of Bhagavatam from the womb, when he was in the womb of his mother. Narada Muni was telling, giving the discussion of Bhagavatam to his mother, and Prahlad Maharaj very attentively listening that time. So we see many examples in Bhagavatam and many examples in Vaishnavas are there, Acharyas are there. Those who are beginning of their life, they are very utilizing fully in the service of Krishna. We see that Bhagavatam only many verses comes, many places it comes. Like Parishit Maharaj, one of the most example also, very beginning of his life, and we know that the Parishit Maharaj also got darshan of Lord Krishna in the womb only. When Lord Krishna saved him from the Brahmastra, protected him. So that time onwards, as soon as he got come out from his womb, then he was looking every person. Is that the same person who who I got darshan in the home, the same person, therefore his name became the Parikshit. So Parikshit Maharaj entered, so because he took birth in the, he himself was Vaishnava, he took birth in the family of Vaishnava. So beginning on the life of only, he was just serving Lord Krishna's deities. And then instead of playing with the dolls, he was playing the, decorating the Lord's Radha Krishna deity and worshipping all these things. Similarly, the description comes with the Uddhava. Uddhava also was the very, we can say that very associate of, very dear associate of Lord Krishna. So much so that when Krishna both were in Dwarka, so there his bodily form also like him only. It's a bluish color, and so many times he wear the clothes of Krishna's only. And Krishna personally asked many questions, many guidance from him also. Of course, that is much of Krishna only, but he was a very dear friend of Krishna also, and he was a great disciple of Brihaspati. So from childhood onwards also, Uddhava was always worshipping Krishna in the form of deity or the saint serving. So much so that, as we know, the third canto description was coming that when the Krishna was living this material world, when Krishna was living the material world, he gave the association at the last moment of his association to Uddhava. And simultaneously, Mitra Muni also came there. So when Vidura, after getting offended by this Duryodhana offended him, and he left Hastinapur and was going to many holy places, different holy places. So he came to that place where he was approaching Uddhava to inquire him about the last message of Krishna. So there also, as soon as he asked Vidura about, tell me about Krishna's pastime, that immediately he was completely absorbed in the meditation of Krishna, and he went long period of time completely silent. So Vidura understood, because he also great Vaishnavas, great devotee, that how Vidura, this Uddhava is completely gone to absorption and remembrance of Krishna. So we also see that, and then and in that purport was writing famous things that when the Vaishnava is becoming old, like normally we see that when the outside people, then they become old after 60 years, they will get retirement. And then they get retirement from their offices work, and then just engage the remaining time they just spend in a way. But here, when the Vaishnava is becoming old, is not that his services are, of course, physically he may not be able to do services, but his service attitude is go on always increasing. So much so that there will be no stagnant in the life of a Vaishnava that, oh, I'm not able to do anything. So therefore, the Vaishnavas, the old age is also helping him to remember us of Krishna more and more. So therefore, the Uddhava also went in that. And similarly, we see that our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, when he was a small child, his father gave him the deities of Radha and Krishna. He used to worship and he used to play with his sister, and used to decorate he used to attend the festivals, arrange the festivals, Rath Yatra. So beginning of his life only, he's got this facility to worship Radha Krishna, and he got his parents was also very Vaishnavas, who were always inviting sadhus in his home and seeking blessing, asking blessing, please bless me, bless my son, he become a devotee of Radharani. So therefore, these are the sign of Mahabhagavad devotees that at the beginning of their life, they are completely engaged in the services of Lord by remembering Him. And they don't utilize their time in another way. So here another most important point is mentioned here, that how the Krishna Girit Atma. Krishna Girit Atma means is very positive way. Like negative, we know that sometimes the Graha comes eclipse, solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. Sometimes we see that. And that time what happened? The sun and the moon get covered by the Rahu or Ketu, and there is nothing visible. So that time the whole consciousness goes in that completely covered. So similarly, Prahlad Maharaj is the positive way. There was like negative example, eclipse covering. But positive example is similarly the Krishna's Prahlad Maharaj was covered with the Krishna Girit Atma, like the Gira of Krishna. So that's so much so that he was not understanding anything other than Krishna. Here it is mentioned that Prabhu was right. Very nice point. See here it is mentioned. It is sometimes said that when one is influenced by evil stars, like Saturn, Rahu, or Ketu, he cannot make advancement in any prospective activity. In just the opposite way, Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by Krishna, the supreme planet, and thus he could not think of the material world and live without Krishna consciousness. This is sign of Mahabharata. So he was just only absorbed in Krishna, so much absorbed in Krishna that he was not able to understand anything. What not able to understand? The translation is mentioned that in the Hiranyakashipu's kingdom, where there's Asuras, where the Prahlad Maharaj was also staying there. Everyone except Prahlad Maharaj everyone was a demon only. So everyone demon, so demon by nature, they are engaged in a sense gratification activity. So here it is mentioned that although Prahlad Maharaj was completely absorbed in the remembrance of Krishna, he does not know how the whole world, or he does not know how the world goes on being fully absorbed in the activities of sense gratification. So in front of him, everyone is engaged in the sense gratification activities, but he was not got affected of this. Why? Because you got the influence of the Krishna Gira, means remembrance of Krishna. So this is very much important actually. Like Prabhupada used to say many times that when the Ajamila saw this scene of this prostitute and Shudra, that time only he saw one thing only, but he got so much affected. But nowadays, in everywhere in America or in India, any places, we see the so many places like this only. So many prostitutes are there. So many Shudra are embracing. So at any time, devotees get the risk of they get affected of this. But devotees are nicely engaged in the service of Krishna. They are for chanting holy name. They are doing reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, and engaging in Krishna conscious activities. Therefore, that Krishna is giving protection to them. Like we see that how when this Radha Damodar bus party was there, so both in the same party, both Mataji and Prabhuji both were going, and both are very young only. And before their coming to Krishna consciousness, they were just everyone is involved in the celebration activity. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, they are going the same bus party and fully absorbed in how to distribute books to the everyone. So therefore, they are telling that although they were engaged in service of Krishna, so the Mataji and Prabhu are there, but they are not getting any thoughts of to do the self-realization activity. Why? Because they are engaged in the service of Krishna. So only solace is mentioned here that by Prahlad Maharaj that how to completely absorb oneself in the Krishna conscious activity so that we not get influence of this material association. What is speak of Prahlad Maharaj get influence of the material association? He himself is giving his association to all his schoolmates, and they become also Vaishnavas after hearing the description of Prahlad Maharaj. So therefore, we can understand that how the activity in Krishna consciousness, which help us to remembrance, it's very important. So involved engage in so many activities. So especially you see the same kind of example like the Prahlad Maharaj got not affected by the influence of bad association. Similarly, we get the example of Hanuman also. When Hanuman went to search out Mother Sita in the kingdom of Ravana. So there also all the suras engage in self-gratification activity. So whichever room, whichever there he was going, he was finding the people engaging in self-gratification activity. And the women are not properly clothed on these things. Although he was a brahmachari, from the childhood he was a brahmachari. But because his thought was always to find out the Mother Sita to serve the Lord Ram, so therefore he was not got affected. So in the same way, I just give the example of how currently the devotees, the bus party, and similarly once also told that how Rajsham give the practical example, how when the young boy is very new in Krishna consciousness, he also be not get affected by the influence. So that he gave the same example that how once he told the boy to bring print out from a Xerox shop. And then there are many shops where there in that line. One of the shop was Xerox, and before that, so many other shops were there where the cigarette was there, wine was there. Which before coming into Krishna consciousness, he was maybe having that kind of activity engagement. But because after coming to Krishna consciousness, his mind was fully wanted to go in that shop only. So although these things was there, but it was not influenced to him. So we cannot be stopped this kind of activities of engaging sense gratification because as the Kali is progressing, these things actually will go on increasing more and more. But what the solution is given to us by Krishna and all the acharyas to remain completely ourselves in the Krishna consciousness. So these things can be done. this is in our hand, that we can nicely engage ourselves Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna consciousness sincerely. And then Prabhupada also said that in morning you should charge yourself. Let's like we charge mobile, so that the mobile will be saved whole life, whole day, and the battery will be saved nicely. But if we not charge properly morning activities such as activity, Krishna conscious activities, we not charge ourselves, then at any level, our mobile can discharge. 2 days back only I was experience when I went to SS office. My mobile was having all the mails and it was going to discharge only very soon. Then Raghav was saying to that person, please do it fast because his mobile is going to discharge. Do it. So we can take the example that if we not taken care of ourselves nicely, husband, then we cannot help others. What to speak of helping others, we cannot protect ourselves, because this material world is going to become more and more degraded. It's not going to increase. Maybe because Krishna conscious is spreading, therefore it will be getting nicely. But still, as Kali Yuga is there, so it goes on degrading. So therefore, the best thing is that engage ourselves nicely in Krishna consciousness. Uh, as we saw the examples of Prahlad Maharaj and the devotees in Radha Damodar Paspati and the Hanuman example. Similarly, this example of this, how the services help us to keep ourselves fully in Krishna consciousness. So I was hearing this example. The services actually means required sacrifice. Like just Madhendra Puri past time we can see. When Madhendra Puri was alone was there, he was nicely remembering Krishna. Where he was not thinking about his maintenance also. It's called as the Ajgar Vriti. Whenever it comes, when it takes by Krishna wills. If not comes, then he not asks also Ajgar Vriti. But when this Gopalji told him, please take me out from these bushes. And then Gopalji gave a lot of services. So that he told me, please bring all the villagers, take me out from the bush and make me a place for the Govardhan hill and make the asana for me. And because from the last many years, I was just in this, I was just felt so much heat, so much wind, so much rain. So I'm feeling so much. Uh, Please do some festivals for me. And then he started doing festivals. And the festivals, every day, festivals, Annaputta was happening. Every day, same festivals. For how long it goes? 2 years continuously. And then he was completely involved in the service of the Gopalji. So much so that he was engaging everyone, all the villagers and villagers coming. So I was thinking that how he was in his own life, he was completely absorbed. But when he got the engagement, then he was himself was nicely engaged and he was giving others to engagement also. So therefore, the services actually help to keep oneself completely absorbed. So services require some sacrifice also. What kind of sacrifices? Because the service sometimes it not happen that the way we wanted. We go very peacefully. Like some devotees go about distribution in a cold weather. That is sacrifice. They are going to cold weather. Pujari, Pujari has to sometimes it happens that another we see in Pune's experience, the night dressing it happens, it goes to 11 o'clock. 10:30, it goes to 10:30 for the lords get sleep at 10:30. And then after do wind up all the jewelry, dressing, they have to set up properly. It takes half an hour and then Pujari sleep. And some of the pujaris that there were night services also and there were morning waking up service also. So there's like one more. So they used to get up early. You would do like this. So many are there, not there. So he used to come. It's good that they can sleep, but who want to miss this morning program? So they have to sacrifice the sleepless, and sometimes the pujari has to be till the Lord get darshan and Lord get bhoga morning 4 to 9. He has to be in altar only. So these are the sacrifices, and he has to go on proper time bhoga of praying, proper time dressing. Everything goes to altar has to be open. So sacrifice there. Similarly, all the services have different sacrifices because the when sacrifice is there, then actually it helps us to remember Krishna more and more. Like we see that this Madhendra Puri, his was remembered was there, but when he sacrificed his own, what wanted to be observed alone, because the Gopalji wanted, and that Gopalji wanted him again to go and bring Chandan for him. So far, so long distance, and does not see that he has many, that time he has many other disciples also. He can send them also. But because he got instruction personally from the Gopalji, therefore he went. Similarly, we see that our Muktananda Prabhu goes every week, Thursday, to purchase flowers, and then he used to take to the Connecticut. So I asked last week because I got opportunity to associate with him to went to the car. I asked Prabhu, you are from last so many long years, you are doing the same service, still continuing because you are becoming older. So please give it to others. So he told this service helped me to that I am feeling connected with Krishna more and more. So it helping me to that I am doing something for Krishna. So we that how the devotees they are sacrificing, but these sacrifices giving the sweetness of the sacrifice. Not that the outside people they just go on sacrificing, but they just trusted also. But devotees, although they sacrifice the service, but they give them sweetness so that they will never leave the service also. One time they feel a lot of my anxiety is going out. I'm not getting time for other activity, but they don't tell you to give up the service also. Why? Because it gives the other side sweetness also. So we think that there are all the services involved. So these are the services help us to completely absorb ourselves nicely so that we not get affected from this material association. Okay, I think I'll stop here. Only other devotees can share more point because this topic is very nice. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki.
Yeah, yeah.
If someone want to share, Prabhu,